We eat it, we wear it, we live it. Now, take us to the source.
The earth and the people who make it all happen. So, what has this guy got to do with disposable nappies? Or this one with designer jeans?
Easy, really. Maize starch is used as a binding agent to manufacture modern-day conveniences, such as disposable nappies. I mean, without cotton, we wouldn't have jeans. Never mind the style, dude. But luxuries aside, we need food and fiber just to lead a basic life. To survive. So, how did we get to this point where we moved further and further away from our source of existence? Let's do a bit of time traveling, shall we? So, originally, our ancestors were nomads, hunter-gatherers, constantly on the move. Quite a tough life, I'm sure you'll agree. So over time, they started to settle down, to grow their own food. The start of agriculture. Villages, towns, and cities followed. Man's quest for knowledge brought about a growth in the sciences. The arts flourished, and increasingly, people started migrating to the cities, which brought them further and further away from the source of life. The start of commercial agriculture, because now the farmer had to provide for doctors, lawyers, artists, and artisans, all those no longer growing their own food.
Over time, technological advancement made it possible for farmers to produce higher yields and increase the livestock required to feed the growing number of city dwellers. Today, urban folk are not only totally dependent on commercial agriculture, but we have somehow almost forgotten where it all comes from.
I mean, even sweets. This marshmallow contains albumin, and that's egg white, and eggs are from chicken, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. You get the picture, don't you? But before we get carried away, let's get back to basics.
The world's population is growing while the number of producers of basic food is declining. There's an increasing demand on agricultural resources at a time when arable land is shrinking and accessible water resources are becoming scarcer. Suddenly, the highly developed modern world is as concerned with food security as the roughly 800 million people suffering from deficient diets. The time has come to recognize the crucial role of agriculture to make plans that will ensure short, medium, and long-term food security.
Because you cannot eat a cell phone, and even though diamonds may be a girl's best friend, they do not exactly protect you against the cold. Now, do they? I didn't think so.
A stable agricultural industry is still the base of any economically thriving society.
So, wake up and smell the earth, people! So join me as we check out the role of agriculture in one urban teenager's life. It's easygoing holiday time and he's making his way into the kitchen. Cornflakes, huh? You know, this is really just maize. The Americans call it corn. It may be quick and easy to consume, but it's not that easy to produce, I can assure you. Of course, we need some milk from our dairy farmers and some sugar from the lovely sugarcane fields of Mpumalanga and KwaZulu. Wow, take a look at this. Tropical bananas, oranges, mangoes, apples from the cooler regions too. A lot of work went into this. A quick cup of coffee. Again, not as quick to grow up north in the more tropical areas of Africa. While Chris is off to get dressed for the day, let's check what else is in the kitchen. Time to connect the dots back to the farm. Maize meal. No South African household is complete without it.
Maize is one of our most important grain crops and is grown in the summer season. White maize is milled for human consumption, while yellow maize is mainly used for animal feed.
And this is made from good old sorghum, a fine indigenous African crop.
Sorghum is also used for animal feed and to make traditional sorghum beer.
Oh, look, oats for champions, a nutritious winter crop, also used for animal feed actually. Rice, one of the world's largest staple foods and actually grown standing in water. By the way, while we're on grains and cereals, good old millet has been around from before biblical times and still sustains a third of the world's population. Moving swiftly along to the bread bin, you can't have this bread without milling wheat.
Wheat is a winter crop as it needs a certain amount of cold to grow to full potential.
Some rye bread. Rye is actually a winter cereal milled for baking and used as a fodder crop for livestock. Oh, a nice cold one for Dad. Barley, another winter cereal crop, is used for the brewing of this beer. Oh, look at that. I'm telling you, even though he won't admit it, this boy is all farm man. Jeans, shirt made out of cotton, woolen jersey, slops made out of animal skin.
Well, he's off to his friend's house, taking some fruit juice and chips with roots firmly in the soil.
Well, we'll catch up with him for lunch. In the meantime, let's delve deeper into our reality check. Join me for a trip to the shops. In addition to grains and cereal, oilseeds are important products in our diets and economy. Let's see what we can find around here. Aha! Everybody's got a bottle of sunflower oil in their cupboard.
Sunflowers really grace the countryside during the growing stage, and then, as they dry, they become very handy. In fact, sunflowers are one of the most important oilseeds in South Africa. The sunflower seeds are used to produce oil and also in the confectionery industry and for bird feed.
And here's some canola oil.
Have you ever seen those fields with beautiful yellow flowers next to the road, mostly in the Western Cape? Well, that's canola. Canola is a rapeseed, but it contains less erucic acid than traditional rapeseed oils.
The name is derived from Canadian oil low acid and is used for human consumption and to produce livestock feed. Some soya sauce for your Chinese stir fry. Today, soya beans are used around the world in many different ways, from whole beans to sprouts, tofu to soya milk.
A high-protein animal feed is made of the oil cake remaining from the soya oil extraction process.
Let's see if we can find some peas, world peas. Okay, forget that. Seriously though, peas are annual legumes that grow as small seeds in seed pods during the cool season. Now, beans are also annual legumes and they come in many varieties. I mean, from green beans to dry beans, which is an excellent source of protein actually. Lentils. We really are going vegetarian here, aren't we? Now, lentils provide an important source of protein in countries such as India, where a large part of the population there is vegetarian. Now, they contain the third highest source of plant protein after soya and hemp. Peanuts are known as groundnuts in the agricultural and industrial environments. It isn't a true nut like me. It's actually an annual legume just like beans and peas.
The groundnut plant is unusual because it flowers above the ground and pods containing 1 to 5 seeds are produced underground. Groundnuts, groundnut oil, and groundnut protein constitute an important part of world trade in oilseeds and products. Be it peanuts, cooking oil, peanut butter, or the plant materials used for animal feed and in industrial processes, groundnuts sure are very handy little plants.
Isn't it crazy that we consume these things every day, never really thinking about their origin? Before we carry on, it's almost time for lunch, so let's hook up with our laid-back teenager.
By the way, in terms of energy alternatives to crude oil, agriculture is once again perfectly positioned to take us into a new world, providing the sources for ethanol and biodiesel.
So, what's up for lunch? Cheeseburger and chips, huh? Now let's see what it takes to get this quickie onto your plate. Now, a patty contains beef with egg and bread in order to bind the meat. Some patties also contain soya, which is a high-protein, cheaper alternative to beef.
But basically, this one patty calls for beef production, laying hens for the eggs, and wheat production for the bread. To produce beef, animal feed is needed, be it grass pastures, legumes, or feed mixtures prepared from grains and oilseeds. Laying hens are also mostly fed on grains. Modern agriculture sure is a cleverly integrated network.
So next, the bread rolls, which of course is made from wheat. And now the vegetables, lettuce, onion, tomatoes, which is grown in the good earth. The cheese comes thanks to our dairy farmers. Then of course, the chips, potatoes.
Did you know there are over 19 million hectares of potatoes planted across the globe? In South Africa, they are grown in 16 regions, almost throughout the year, often in rotation with maize and wheat.
The chips are fried in vegetable oil made from sunflower seed. And there you have it. It took at least 4 farmers to ensure this basic grab-and-go meal. That's taking that most commercial farmers produce more than one product in a cleverly integrated system.
This guy is only halfway through his day and he's used an array of agricultural products. These products cannot be produced without a good knowledge of farming, a solid infrastructure, favorable soil and climatic conditions, and a system allowing farmers to produce at a reasonable profit. If farmers make no profit, they cannot survive financially and produce the food we need in our towns and cities. It's that simple. The industrialized nature of modern society have distanced us from nature. Yet, the source of our existence still lies in the energy of the earth, with farmers as the catalysts, the ones activating our food and fiber value chain. Along with the growth of agriculture and the sciences came an increasing knowledge of plants and ecosystems. This enabled us to categorize these life-giving sources and effectively produce a wide variety of food and fiber. Did you know that 20 plant species provide 90% of the world's food?
Now put your hands up, now put your hands up, now put your hands up. We won't stop. Now make a dance up, now make a dance up, now make a dance up. We won't stop. They all scream for Young B, so you'll see. 'Cause we won't stop. Y'all know me. The O-E, so best believe we won't
Yo,
stop.
I brought the little homie, I call him Young B. And when he hold the mic, it's like a young me. The new young prince, a G.I.D. Let me stop,
Yo.
let me let the little homie speak.
Yo, acting's what I do, but rapping is what I'm doing. Yo, I got a lot of chicks, cause I wear a lot of Nikes. Cousin, yeah, I skateboard, somebody gon' pay for fake poses and perpetrators that can't skateboard. People think that I'm lucky, but skip that. Keep talking, you can hear your name on a diss track. Just believe it's a rap. Oh yeah, we taking over. My lyrics will hit you and put you up in the mental coma. Now put your hands up. Now put your hands up. Now put your hands up. We won't stop. Now make a dance up. Now make a dance up. Now make a dance up. We won't stop. They all scream for Young B. So you'll see. Cause we won't stop. Y'all know me. The O-E. So best believe we won't. When it comes to this rapping, I'm the main attraction. Thought my 16 was tight, you only know a small fraction. See me on the big screen, yeah, steady acting. Kick like Beckham, but I push past after. Yeah, I'm swagger splashing. Fake little rappers. Swag so clean that they call it a master.
In addition to maintaining the Earth's balance to ensure sustainable agricultural plant production, the world's growing need for food and fiber from animal sources requires a highly scientific approach to animal production.
Agriculture is nature's music, brought to life by farmers. So next time you drive past a farm, give it some thought.